guys? This is DizzyPW with MMOHuts, and we're here at the massive Xbox 360 launch of World of Wartanks 360. And we've got some serious industry big shots here to tell you all about it. Can you please introduce yourself to our viewers that aren't familiar with you?
Yeah, hi, I'm Matt Booty with Microsoft Studios.
My name is Victor Kislyi. I'm the CEO of Wargaming.net, and we bring you World of Tanks for Xbox 360.
And so I've played the PC version, I just played the Xbox version for the first time, and I was blown away by the controls. It's so smooth, the UI is a lot more, not only crisp, but it's just so open. You can see so much of the game, and that's fantastic because the optimization on this is great. But can you tell me a little bit about how this game might differ from the PC version, for those who are familiar?
Well, we tried, and I think we have succeeded to bring all the best things from the PC version. For example, monetization. It's the same, very easy, very smooth, free-to-win concept. We don't milk you. We know that 75 or even more % of our players on the Xbox will never ever pay us a single penny, and we are fine with that. Those people will get the same experience and will level up to the same levels as those guys like me who from time to time would pay, you know, a movie ticket or two amount of money per month. But you have to understand this is not a port. The server side part, yes, it's pretty much the same. However, the experience on the screen you have in your living room and your controller is totally brand new, made from the scratch in Chicago. In some sense, this is made in the USA game. Well, in its full sense. So this is, as you have just mentioned, is totally Xbox and console specific, with graphics, with speed, with explosions, with this dynamic, with this, you know, blast kind of feelings you get while playing this game.
And
what he said. I think when Wargaming decided to build a studio in Chicago just for the purpose of working on the Xbox 360 version, that was, to me, a sign of a huge commitment to making sure that this is a really fine-tuned, custom-made console game. So you've got all the years of experience, all the server back-end technology, the solidity, the experience of how the game has grown over the last 3 years, combined with a team that has really made sure that this is a game designed to be played on a big screen, to be played on a TV in your living room with a controller. So it's we're real excited about how it's been brought over to the 360.
And we heavily abused the Microsoft's QA, quality assurance laboratories. You know, like this game has been in testing internally in technical aspects, UI, and then live tests with, you know, alpha and beta. So I think by today we have a top-notch console online game, free-to-play.
I can confirm that. There's a lot of passive-aggressive Canadians already very experienced with the console version when I was testing it out just now. But beyond that, so since this game was built from the ground up, around what patch do you see it launching at? In terms of content, you have like the 3 nations and...
Right. Yeah, I get it. So, you know, some people think, okay, today is a launch day and that's it. We're gonna like ship the game, put it on the shelf, in a disc, in a box, and start working on another game. In online games, well, at least in World of Tanks, it's a totally different story. From tomorrow, our work is just beginning. Yes, there is certain pipeline we have in mind. We're launching it with 107 tanks, so there's gonna be like new tanks, new maps, new gameplay modes. However, what we think is one thing. On the other side, there's going to be hundreds of our employees, employee community managers, and support people who will start from tomorrow gathering information from live players, like every day, and feeding this information back to our developers so that we can incorporate the wishes of the players together with our own concepts. So, what future holds, only our players know, frankly speaking. But of course, we will be releasing patches like every month and a half, every 2 months. It's going to be a never-ending project for the next 5, 10, maybe even 20 years.
So on that note, for one, Wargaming is notorious perfectionists. You guys make sure your game is ready to go and solid. I mean, the World of Warplanes triple beta phase is enough proof of that for me. But for this, I was kind of expecting, given that you were demoing at E3 and everything, that was going to launch along with the Xbox 360. Why did you guys decide to hold back and launch now?
You mean Xbox One?
The Xbox One, yeah, sorry about that.
Xbox One is a fantastic new platform, no doubts about that. However, let me be honest with you. Today, our laser focused concentration is on 360 game. We decided 2.5 years ago approximately to do this together with our partners at Microsoft, and we are very committed to this. It's 48 million Xbox Live members today, and it's a big market. Those players deserve to play a free-to-play online game about tanks, right? So please let us concentrate and focus on this for the next X months to come. We have to make sure that this free-to-play online is well accepted on the console. After that, all the new roads will be open for us. We'll sit with our partners at Microsoft and decide what we do next. So 360 is our focus today.
Okay, and then on that note, are you going to be able to start rolling out the content much faster now that you've got the hang of working with their systems?
Well, we keep hiring people. Our Chicago studio is growing. Our engineers, server-side engineers, are becoming bigger and bigger studio in Sydney. Wargaming keeps investing in people. Right now we're 2,800 people and we're hiring like 3-4 people every day. We throw all possible resources, money, people, time, devotion, to satisfy dozens of millions of players we have today around the world. And from tomorrow, I think our Xbox 360 World of Tanks community will grow. So we just have no choice. We will be throwing whatever we have, everything we have, and even more to satisfy these players.
And then a question on monetization. How are console players taking to the general idea of suddenly having these free-to-play, consistent titles on consoles that have been buy-to-play for eons?
I think one of the great things about World of Tanks, and something that I've learned about wargaming working with Victor, is that there is a really deep-seated respect for the player, and free-to-play, for it to work on a console, needs to be respectful of the player. It needs to offer them the choice, and it needs to be fair. So it needs to be that you can make it through the game, it's your choice, and as Victor said, if you want to trade some money for time, you can do that, but it needs to be appropriate for the game, it needs to be fair at a very core level in the game, and I think that World of Tanks is a great example of that, and that's why it will be a great example of free-to-play on the console.
I want to thank Matt for mentioning respect part. Let me add to that. We have those dozens, hundreds of community managers who are full-time employees here in San Francisco Bay Area, in Paris, in Tokyo. And you know what? We at Wargaming do not distinguish paying and non-paying users when it comes to support. If you have a problem, there's a system, you submit it, and it gets answered and gets solved, no matter if you pay or not. That qualifies as respect, right?
Yes.
And we invest a lot of money into this service component: support, community management, competition, esports.
Now, to step back from the 360 launch for a minute, there's so much going on with Wargaming right now. We got caught off guard this week with the Let's Battle e-magazine. Where did that come up with, and what exactly are you looking to provide with this new magazine?
Everything about the games we make. And I guess, our games, we have to, it's a good thing, and I'm proud to admit, to talk about this. Military history, museums, photos, some stories about, this World War II, the great stories from our granddads. Everything military, everything battle. Of course, historical or in virtual world.
As well as look at the inside of what's going on with the developers, right? I saw there's going to be some interviews in there.
There's going to be interviews, there's going to be player feedback, there's going to be I bet there's going to be some humor. Like, there's so many, I don't know, already cartoons, funny verses, some, stories, which are actually funny, about World of Tanks, about World of Warplanes, everything. The good franchises like, let's say, White Dwarf for Games Workshop, Warhammer Universe. So it's, you know what, I think I'm in a position to say that already in many countries, World of Tanks is not just a game or a service. It's just already a cultural phenomenon, right? Especially in Russia, or in Poland, or in Czech Republic, in Germany. So I, by the way, think that coming to American market with 360 version will definitely move it towards becoming a massive cultural phenomenon, World of Tanks.
And then last thing, and I don't expect a straight answer on this, but I was very excited this week when the confrontation mode was revealed, a new mode in which you actually have nations of tanks fighting other nations of tanks, something I kind of first thought of when you came out with World of Tanks. And do you see a future of confrontation tying in with special esports events?
Well, again, we are just launching it like literally today for the PC. Let's see how it goes. Let me give you a short explanation why there was not in the very beginning. Usually historical games are Nazis versus Russians, or Russians versus Nazi, or Nazis versus American. You know, we wanted to move a little bit away from this kind of confrontation, making World of Tanks more of a, okay, we use this word, Counter-Strike with tanks. It's a team-based, skill-based, short battle game, right? That's why we allowed you to mix Russian, American, Japanese, and Chinese and German tanks in one team, so we can move away from, you know, political discussion on the battlefield. On the forums, yes. In the magazine, yes. On the battlefield, that's your team. You have outmaneuver, outwit, outsmart, get the victory within 5 to 7 minutes. So it's more of an esportsy thing. However, our community grew so big, and there happen to be much more people around the world who are really very interested, or who were not interested in World War II military history topic, but now, due to World of Tanks, are interested. They're reading our forums, they're reading Wikipedia, they're buying books, they're watching documentaries on Discovery and Military History Channel, right? So they really demanded, many of them, much more than we had before, demanded this historical mode, because they want to see how our grandfathers were actually fighting. So that's why we're putting it in there. If it becomes popular, of course, if it's balanced, I mean, we have to balance it for the esports. Well, why not introducing something like this in the future? That's, by the way, a good idea. I'll run it through our game design department.
I love the passion. It's clear that you love what you do for a living, no doubt.
Yes, I've been doing this for more than 20 years. Like, you know, starting from the bedroom, garage kind of times. Well, Wargaming celebrated 15-year anniversary last year. So yeah, it's been a long time. It's in no way you can look at success of World of Tanks as overnight success. It's been years and years of hard work, devotion, and yeah, we were giving our hearts and our, you know, all of our passion to our games. We've done like 13 games before World of Tanks. So World of Tanks is our lucky game number 13.
Lucky number for me. Well, I don't want to keep you guys away from your party. You got this passion to spread to everywhere. But quick mention for our viewers out there. We've got a special poll. We normally are only PC only, but there's so many free-to-play games going on the console that we want to know what you guys are interested in terms of our coverage going forward. So check out the description below and let us know your vote, because this is your site and we're making it for you. Thanks for your time.
Thanks.
Let's battle.
Let's battle.